Hi there guys, I hope that you're all okay, that you're keeping safe and well. Welcome to another little activity video and I thought for the next couple of weeks we could talk about sort of emotion regulation skills, so tips and activities about recognising emotions, managing them and I guess expressing them and exploring them and learning more about them. So today I thought we could do a good activity all about anxiety and control using these circles, as you've already seen here. So this is called Circles of Control and Concern. So all you're going to need for this one is some pens, some cards, and then I've also used some string just to sort of hold them all together. As you'll have seen, I've already made a start. You don't want to sit there watching me cut things for ages. So what I've done is, so you're going to need 3 circles of different sizes, so one small one, a medium one and a large one, and then you're going to want to, with your 2 bigger ones, cut out the middle so the next size ring fits inside, like so. Ooh, just so you can see there. And then on the back I just stuck some string to hold it all together, and then I've even made a little loop on the top so that I can hang it up nicely. That's the plan. So now you've sort of I've explained what you need to do, let's get into the actual activity portion. So like I said, we're talking about control and anxiety, because the thing with anxiety a lot of the time is that we are worrying about things that we can't control, and if we have no control over something, then where possible we need to try and let those things go. So that is why this activity is great, so we can sort of make note of things that we do have control over, things that we have some control over, and then the things we don't have any control over, and then try and focus on these 2 first circles instead. And hopefully, you know, the idea is that these circles can be a bit bigger, and then this outer circle, you know, in our minds can be a bit smaller as we stop focusing on them, or focus less on them at least. So let's start in the very middle. So this is the circle where we have the most control, the things we have total control over. So let's have a think. So that could be things, you know, these are things that are, you know, your own actions, your own thoughts, your own behaviours, you know, what we say to people, how we act, how much effort we put into things. They're the sorts of things that go into the middle of your circle. So I'll let you think what those things are. So like I say, these are the things that we have complete control over. Because I think that's the issue sometimes when we're feeling really anxious or really sad or really stressed, we tend to forget some of these things and focus on everything going on in this outside circle. So really bringing that awareness back to what we do have that control over can really help to, you know, help to calm me down a little bit. So I'm just writing down what these circles are for, but the point for you is that you're going to be writing the things that you can actually control. So like I said, that's going to be things like how you treat other people, how you treat yourself, you know, if you're following the rules with COVID, you know, if you're washing your hands, they're the things that we have control over. Then this middle circle is called the circle of influence. So these are the things that we do not have 100% control over, but we do have some control. So we can influence some of those things. So, you know, that could be things like, you know, sleep hygiene, because, you know, we can take steps to have a good sleeping routine, but, you know, there might be some external factors that influence how well you do sleep, but we do have some control. We can take steps to try and make sure we get a good night's sleep. Things like, you know, how people respond to us, you know, if we can't totally control other people's behaviour, but we can help influence that. So if we're nice and treat other people with kindness, they're more likely, not always, but more likely to sort of give that back to us. So like I say, that middle circle, that things that we can influence, the things we have some control over. Another example might be, you know, your health, particularly at the moment with COVID, you know, whether or not we get COVID, you know, in some aspects is out of our control. But on the other hand as well, we can take steps to do our very best to prevent that, like washing our hands, socially distancing, wearing a mask, you know, all those sensible things. Okay, and then the biggest circle, or the outside circle, let's not call it the biggest, this is going to be theoretically in our minds the smallest circle, are the things that we very much have no control over. So that can be things like the weather, things like, you know, government guidelines, like I said, other people's behaviours, you know, whether or not they're following the rules, not necessarily things that we can influence. So yeah, so in that big outside circle, write down everything that you feel that you have no control over. And again, that could be things like, you know, the pandemic itself. We have no control over how long this will last. That is, you know, on the government. But yeah, just have a think about those things. It might be that you can't actually think of many that you have zero control over, because like I said, this middle circle of things that we can influence might be a bit fuller. But yeah, that's the idea. So I've just written, like I said, the titles of each one of these circles, but I encourage you to write down the actual things that you have or don't have control over. And then this is just a nice reminder of those things, so when you're feeling a bit stressed or a bit anxious, it's something for you to look on and remember, okay, these are the things that I can control and the things that I can influence. And then hopefully the idea is that things in these outer circle we're going to spend less time worrying about. Or at least that's the aim, that's the goal. I know it's easier said than done, but with time, with practice, by doing things like this, then that's how we work on it. But yeah, I hope that you found that one useful. You know, you don't feel like you have to do it like this, make it, you know, with colours and things. This is something you can just easily draw on just a plain bit of paper. But I hope that you found that useful. And you know, please like and share if you have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.